Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today we have another spoiler-free book review to share with you guys. And today we are talking about Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna van Veen. I hope I'm saying your name right. And I'd heard about this author before. I had seen a year or two ago that she had written a novel called My Darling Dreadful Thing, and what a gorgeous, intriguing title. So I just hadn't gotten around to reading that one yet. So when I saw this one on NetGalley, I was like, yes, now is my time to check out this author. And I definitely was not disappointed. So basically what we have here is a gothic, slow burn horror story about two twin sisters named Lucy and Sarah. The year, I believe, is 1887. And Lucy is working as a companion for an older woman, an older widow, and she enjoys it, you know. And her sister Sarah she's married a man named Michael, and she's living in a country estate. And they correspond quite frequently by mail. And what happens at the beginning of the book is we see that Lucy is traveling to Sarah by train to get to her because Sarah's very ill. And Lucy noticed, like, her letters started getting more and more erratic, the contents inside of these letters. And Sarah was writing to tell her about a body that was found in the bog outside their home. And Sarah becomes kind of obsessed with this body and finding out, like, who this person was. They can't tell because the body's been in the bog for so long if it's a man or a woman, but Sarah in her heart knows it was a woman. And she becomes obsessed. And they don't know what to do with the body, so eventually they bring it into the house and, like, put it in the attic or the cellar, I think, until they know what to do. So all this has been happening over the past 2 weeks, and while Lucy has been getting the letters from Sarah, like I said, they've been getting more and more erratic and chaotic, like repeating words and none of it making a lot of sense. So Lucy starts to be concerned and want to go and visit Sarah. And then what really puts that final nail in the coffin, and no pun intended, is that Sarah's husband, Michael, writes a letter to Lucy and is like, you need to come here. Something's very wrong. So Lucy makes the trip, and that's our story. And it's a quick read. It's slow, but it's quick, if that makes sense. Like, it's the action is slow burn. There's a lot of dread. I was very nervous while reading it, and I love that feeling. That's my favorite feeling to have when reading horror, that creeping dread. And this delivered on that in droves. I loved it. It's a story about family and mental health, mental illness. And it's an interesting take, which I don't believe this is a spoiler because I knew this going into it. It's an interesting take on a vampire story. And you kind of get the feeling like each part is separated by a quote from Bram Stoker. And just the names alone, like Lucy, like there's a lot of winks and nods towards Dracula in this. But that said, it's an entirely new take on the vampire story, which I love. That's my second now book so far this year, even though it's still only January, that gave me a fresh new take on the vampires. First was The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. So it's always fun because I love vampire stories, but you know, a lot of it feels recycled sometimes. But that one and this one, they felt fresh to me. They felt really fresh. There's some body horror in this, which if you don't like that, maybe skip it. Body horror is the thing that gets me the most. Like, makes my stomach turn the most. So I had fun reading this. But that's the thing, right? The thing that gets you the most is what scares you the most, and therefore is most effective as a horror novel. So I would definitely recommend. This is going to be 4 or 5 stars for me. I'm going to think on it another minute or two, but loved it, and would recommend. And let me know in the comments if you've read My Darling Dreadful Thing, would you recommend it? Because I think I'm going to put it on my list because this was great. And I will definitely be looking forward to anything else this author writes in the future. So there you go, you guys. That's going to do it for me for today. I've been gone a little longer than I'd hoped to, but I'm back now. So I think it was a week in between videos. But yeah, coming up next, I think is going to be my second video revisiting Christopher Pike, because I loved him when I was a kid. And so I think the next video is going to be another Christopher Pike book talk, because I got a copy of Remember Me, and that was one I particularly loved as a kid. So I can't wait to reread it. And I will talk to you guys about it real soon. Bye. I'm just popping in here now to say that this book comes out March 25th. I forgot to say that in the video. Okay, bye guys.